For years, the Iranian regime has called for the destruction of the state of Israel.
ما برای شکستن آمریکا و اسرائیل
targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival.
On the night of June 13th, 2025, the simmering tensions between Israel and Iran erupted into open conflict as Israeli warplanes launched a bold and decisive strike deep into Iranian territory. This was no ordinary operation. It was a meticulously planned assault aimed at crippling Iran's nuclear ambitions and safeguarding Israel's survival against an existential threat. In this video, we unravel the events of this historic night, the stakes for Israel, and the role of the United States in this escalating crisis. For decades, Iran has pursued a dangerous nuclear program, openly threatening Israel's existence while funding terrorist proxies like Hezbollah and Hamas to destabilize the region. Israel, a beacon of democracy and resilience in a volatile Middle East, has long viewed Iran's nuclear capabilities as a red line. Last night, Israel acted on that conviction, launching a series of precision airstrikes targeting Iran's nuclear facilities, ballistic missile factories, and key military commanders.
This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat.
The strikes, which began early Friday, June 13th, 2025, targeted Iran's main uranium enrichment facility at Natanz, along with other critical sites. Israeli jets, leveraging intelligence and advanced technology, struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. Reports confirm the deaths of several high-ranking Iranian officials, including Hossein Salami, commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and Mohammad Bagheri, Iran's armed forces chief of staff. Israel's operation was a masterstroke of military precision, exploiting a rare window of opportunity.
Struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program.
In October 2024, Israel had already degraded Iran's air defenses, leaving the regime vulnerable. With Iran rebuilding its defenses with help from Russia and China, Israel knew it had to act swiftly to prevent Tehran from achieving nuclear breakout. Iran's response was immediate but ineffective. Tehran launched approximately 100 drones toward Israel, all of which were neutralized by Israel's world-class air defense systems. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian vowed a powerful response, but the damage was done. Israel had struck a decisive blow. The United States, Israel's staunchest ally, played a complex role in this unfolding drama. President Donald Trump has been vocal about his desire to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions through diplomacy, pushing for a deal to halt Tehran's uranium enrichment.
Cannot have a nuclear weapon. Other than that, I want them to be successful. I want them to be tremendous. We'll help them be successful. We'll trade with them. We'll do whatever is necessary.
However, Israel's decision to strike came without US military involvement, a move that caught the Trump administration off guard and tested the US-Israel relationship. In the days leading up to the strike, the US took precautionary measures, withdrawing diplomats from Iraq and authorizing the voluntary departure of military families across the region. These actions were prompted by fears of Iranian retaliation against US assets, as Tehran has repeatedly threatened to target American bases in the event of conflict. While the US provided no direct military support, reports suggest American intelligence may have aided Israel's planning. This reflects the deep strategic partnership between the two nations, even as Trump publicly expressed frustration that the strike could derail his diplomatic efforts with Iran. The strike sent shockwaves through global markets. Iran, a major oil producer, saw its exports threatened, with oil prices surging 8% overnight. Fears of Iranian retaliation in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global oil trade, have heightened concerns of a wider regional conflict. Israel's strike was not just about Iran's nuclear program. It was a message to Tehran's so-called axis of resistance. Iran's support for groups like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis has fueled instability across the region. Israel's actions signal that it will not tolerate threats from Iran or its proxies, especially after the fall of Iran's ally, the Assad regime in Syria, which gave Israel greater freedom to operate. For Israelis, this operation is a matter of survival. Iran's leaders have repeatedly called for Israel's destruction, and a nuclear-armed Iran would be an unimaginable threat. Last night's strikes were a bold assertion of Israel's right to defend itself, even as the region braces for Iran's next move. The international community has urged de-escalation, but Israel remains resolute. With Iran's nuclear program set back and its military leadership decimated, Israel has gained a strategic advantage. Yet, the risk of retaliation looms large, and the world watches anxiously. On June 13, 2025, Israel took a stand against an existential threat, striking at the heart of Iran's nuclear ambitions. While the United States navigates a delicate balance between diplomacy and alliance, Israel's resolve remains unshaken. As the Middle East stands on the brink, one thing is clear: Israel will do whatever it takes to ensure its security and survival in a region fraught with danger. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for updates on this developing story.